Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. This time we're having a look at a couple of games from yours truly. These are going to be games where we just mess around in some American heavies, and we're kicking off with a tank you really don't see that much. This is the Tier 5 American Premium Heavy tank, the T-14. And you don't see this tank all that very much for a couple of fairly good reasons. One, I don't believe it's actually for sale anymore, so you can't get your hands on this thing. It's quite difficult to get your hands on this thing, and two, well, it's debatable exactly how good it is. The gun in particular is rather lackluster. Never mind. This thing actually gets preferential matchmaking. I will do a review of this thing at some point. It gets preferential matchmaking. We're in a Tier 6 match, so this is pretty much the worst matchmaking that the T-14 can see. And in this sort of matchmaking, this thing is not a true heavy. You don't really want to be tangling with the likes of a T-150 frontally. So I decide to go over to the hill and pretend I'm a little bit of a medium, although I find the T-150 anyway, because reasons. Never mind. Equipment-wise on this thing, it's only a low-tier tank, so you can't mount a vertical stabilizer. I run with gun rammer, vents, and last equipment slot, either a repair kit or often I will pack, hello Mr. AMX40, binos, because it is nice to have something close to max view range. The base view range of this tank is not very good, and it can be quite nice, hello Mr. M7, it can be quite nice having a tank that can get close to max view range at Tier 5. And binos is the only real way to achieve that. The view range is bad enough, the optics isn't really going to cut it. M7, there we go. This gun may not be particularly fantastic. Dodgy shell velocity, and goodbye. Ah, someone else gets the kill. Dodgy shell velocity and fairly lackluster penetration. You've got only 92 penetration with your regular AP rounds, and even if you load APCR, that only goes up to 127, which even for a regular Tier 5 heavy tank, even with regular, well, good old-fashioned armor-piercing ammunition, that would be low-ish penetration. So, penetration isn't great. Gun depression on this tank, not bad. It's not as good as some of the tanks to follow, but not bad, and we managed to take out the Panzer IV-H there for our first kill. But so far in this game, we haven't done too badly. Oh, Excelsior. Oh, dear. We haven't done too bad. Ooh, flat-out fight between ourselves and an Excelsior, by the way, is going to get interesting, because these tanks are quite similar. They were designed to fulfill the same brief historically, so there's that. Loading the APCR, because there's no other way I'm going to deal with this guy's armour. My 90-something penetration just isn't really up to snuff. And his armour is consistently able to bounce me, and my armour will be able to bounce him some of the time, but not all of the time. Generally speaking, you can consider the Excelsior to be a T-14 plus a little bit more, and the Excelsior isn't a particularly fantastic tank anyway. So, even with APCR, bear in mind, I am not packing massive penetration. Goodbye, Mr. Excelsior. Ooh, I'd get penetrated by the M3 Lee there, firing armor-piercing ammo. I want to keep myself angled for him. And can we take this guy out? Yes, we can. Kill number 3. We've switched back to armor-piercing, by the way. KV1 is up yonder. We're going to switch back to APCR for him and for the T-150. Because, yeah, AP is just not going to do it, even against the T-150's side. And we get penetrated there. T-150 is not using the top gun. That's what we learned from that. And you can see here, even with APCR, I am bouncing a number of these shots. I mean, this is one of those tanks that really does need some premium ammunition in order to function. And even then, you can't expect miracles. Managed to bounce that shot though, trap the T-150 into the bargain, but unfortunately we get hit and ammo racked by that Su-85B over there, which is a little unfortunate. So we can't spend this entire game trying to shoot that T-150 from the position we were in, so we're going to take a little bit of a risk here, because we cannot get shot by that. Ooh, we managed to dodge that shot. We cannot get shot anymore by that Su-85B. Going for that central plate there. I mean, if the T-150 hits me here, I think, judging by the gun he appears to be using, he'd require another penetration or 2 to actually kill us. So we're trying to be a little cautious here. We managed to bounce a shot there, and voila. If that guy were fully upgraded, I'm pretty sure we would currently be dead. He managed to pen us once, even with whatever gun he was using, firing regular ammunition. And instead of it being 100 damage, it would have been 300, which would mean we would currently be dead. So, yeah, bear that in mind. Anyway, point is, we're not dead. And we're up to 3 kills, over 1500 damage done, 880 blocked by our armour, and 425 assistance, which isn't too shabby. A43 has just killed our Panzer 38 NA. There's a Lux who was last spotted in K0. And there's an Su-85B back there. We know that because we got slapped by him. Lux and A43 are over yonder. The A43 is now down, which is good because he was sitting on a Top Gun. He presumably had a pretty good game. Lux is hopefully going to go down relatively soon, and then there's the Su-85B. Would be nice to take him out, but we'll see what we can actually achieve here. You can see in a straight line, the mobility of the T-14 isn't bad, but it's a tank that's quite difficult to recommend. It doesn't really have many strong points going for it. It's based on the chassis of the Sherman. The Sherman is not a particularly heavily armoured tank, so there is that. Having said that, I don't want to turn this into a review because I will do a proper review of this tank at some point. So just having a quick look to see if I can see anything. I haven't been spotted, which is mainly what I'm watching out for here. Our Lux, or their Lux I should say, is coming around. Looks like he might nobble our gorilla. Unless the artillery defends himself. Come on, Arty, you can do it. Ooh, we have been spotted, more to the point. Let's ignore our Arty for now. We have been spotted. I'm loading a high explosive round here, as the Su-85B does have pretty weak armour. And the one good thing about the T-14 compared to the Excelsior is that it has a larger ammunition capacity, and indeed that Lux does kill our gorilla. And with a larger ammunition capacity, that means that you can mount a greater variety of ammunition. So I have 10 rounds of high explosive here, because 75mm HE at tier 5 is not actually too bad. So going for where I think that Su-85B is probably going to be, I reckon... Oh, we do back off into the cap circle here. I reckon he's probably over by around about J9, J0. And going into the capture circle here is a little bit intentional. The problem with going after that Su-85B is he may well be entrenched, and he can kill me in one shot. I am unlikely to kill him in one shot. It depends how much health he's on. So by sitting in the capture circle here, I'm basically saying, come on then if you think you're hard enough. And we're hoping that with we're going to be able to kill this guy. Now I've switched back to armor piercing here because we've got a load of crud in the way that high explosive may not go through. There we go, we put one shot in, there's the second, one more shot to kill this fellow, and good night, sweet prince. Still going to be sitting in the capture circle because we're basically pulling the same thing but with the Lux. Come on then if you think you're hard enough. We're trying to force them to come to us. Now Lux has a nasty little 30mm autocannon, very painful at close range, but at greater range not so much. Either way though, I would really like to be able to get the drop on this guy, or to just cap out. I'm not particularly fussed. So just trying to make the guy come to us, as I said, or I'm happy to cap this out. Either way, a win's a win. Can't get a Top Gun or anything, one way or the other. Lux takes us in the side, manages to reset by doing just a little bit of damage. But he has spent his load at this point, and I'm pondering whether to chase after him or what. In the end, I decide to go for it, if memory serves. So we wait till we're unspotted, burst through the building there, and miss our shot. But the guy, well, he's not still reloading. He's reloaded his magazine there, but we are able to pick him up for kill number 5, and that is the game. Whew. Fairly close one there in the end. Let's go and have a look at the post-game stats. So that game was enough for Ace Tanker, Fire for Effect Fighter, Shell-Proof Duelist, Hand of God Bruiser, and a Steel Wall Medal, which is none too shabby. 19 shots fired, what am I talking about? 1,977 damage done, 5 kills, 1,345 base experience. Shout out to the enemy A43, 2,500 damage and 7 kills. Wasn't quite enough to pull his team over the victory line, unfortunately for him. 35 shots fired, 25 hits, 21 penetrations for that damage count, most of which was from fairly close range. 22 hits received, bear in mind that's going to be padded, if you will, by that Lux's autocannon. 7 penetrated, 15 did not, for over 1,000 damage blocked by our armour. 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 8 damaged, 5 destroyed, 425 assistance damage. We spent almost 17,000 credits in ammunition. With a standard account, there was a bonus running for the Christmas event, so we made basically a 40,000 credit profit from that match. The T14 is not, as a general rule of thumb, a particularly profitable machine, so that is worth bearing in mind. Anyway, that was a match in the T14. Let's bump it up a couple of tiers. Game number 2 then finds us in the Tier 7 American heavy tank, the T29. I believe this game was done on stream, although I could be wrong. Either way, I'm platooned up with Baldric, who is also in his T29. Time of playing this tank, playing this game, sorry, I hadn't played this tank in friggin' ages, I must admit. And so we get into this, and it's on, was it Northwest? No, Tundra, sorry. Tundra, which is not my favourite map in the game, to put it mildly. And it's a Tier 9 match. But okay, it's a Tier 9 match, but none of the Tier 9s have particularly impressive armour. We've got an AMX 1390, a T54 lightweight, and a Batchat 155-55. And we are in a T29, which is a pretty darn strong Tier 7. I used to be of the opinion that this thing was hilariously overpowered. After the power creep this game has had, I'm not sure anymore, and I haven't played this tank enough in more recent times to test that opinion. So I do have a review of the T29 on my channel. My base opinion of the tank isn't going to have changed that much. Step 1, go hull down. Step 2, kill all of the things. Step 3, cry if artillery hits you. I mean, that's pretty much it. Now, if you're paying attention to the minimap, you can see myself and Baldric are coming up here towards the hill to hopefully achieve something useful, but you might have noticed there's an IS-2 who appears to be sneaking his way around the bottom of the hill, which is a bit of an issue. We really don't want to be caught on the hop by this guy. And I'm just keeping an eye on this IS-2, but in the end, you know, I was thinking maybe I can deal with the fellas on the hill first, but on balance, maybe not. Now, there are 3 T29s on our team, which is quite nice. We're going to spend some time now going to deal with that IS-2 so that he can't just wreck our faces. I managed to put 1 shot in. Baldric puts a shot in. One of us, I'm not sure who, bounces the IS-2. And, well, that guy just goes away very quickly. 3 T29s and a T54 lightweight put paid to his plans. We do, however, take a hit there from artillery, which is kind of sad. Takes out our radio operator, but we're not going to faff around trying to put the radio operator back in. Save the med pack for more important crew members, basically. So, back up onto the hill. We've got an IS here. There's a Tiger P to our left-hand side. Trying not to go in behind Baldric. I don't want to accidentally pin boulders in place. That would be a bad plan. Hello, Mr. IS. How are you today? Bounce the shot from him and put 1 into him. Baldric follows suit, and suddenly the guy is missing a pretty large chunk of his hit points. So we've still got an IS, T54 lightweight, there's an AMX 1390 up here, Tiger P up here as well. Baldric just took a hit from the T54 lightweight, but it seemed it only went into his tracks, and we managed to sneak a shot into the lower front plate of the Tiger P. Unfortunately, we're rewarded with a shot from the T54 and from the IS, although the shot from the IS indicates that the guy did 159 damage with AP, so he is not fully upgraded. He does not have the top gun. Scoreline 6-1, by the way. He is instead using, looks like an 85mm, or felt like an 85mm. Now, this is a little bit dicey. We do have people all around us here, and whilst the T29 is a very strong tank, caught on the hop in an unfavourable situation, not so much, which is the same is true of many tanks, to be fair. Swing the turret round, put a shot into the rear of that T34-100, and trying to deter the enemy IS from doing anything to us. Baldric manages to finish off the Tiger P. Friendly SU-152 takes out the T-34-100, and we manage to put one into and set fire to the IS, accidentally backing off and nudging Baldric in the face. Not intentional, but the way it went. Managed to burn the guy to death though. So we're up to 1700 damage at this point. 10-4, I mean, the outcome of this game should be pretty safe. Though, you know, with teams, you never quite know how things are going to go. And you'll notice the scoreline is now 10-6. And Baldric and myself are both up here. Now, the T-29's 105mm gun is not particularly accurate, but it's going to take us so long to get down there. Yeah, screw it. I eventually go for it in the end, but we were thinking of taking some shots from the top of that hill. Put a shot into the T-54 over in the distance, but I just damage his tracks, because of course I do. And hello, Mr. 1390. And I thought he was going to keep driving there. He turned around, and so I'm in the slightly awkward position that I missed my shot, which means this shot won't kill him. Although, did manage to connect. Thankfully, he's not actually paying me any attention because, although it looked like he might have been reloading, had he a magazine, he could readily have killed me, but he is actually dead himself. 252U away in the distance, massively over-angling his tank, and we're able to take him out for kill number 2. Now, the scoreline is 12-10. We are still winning, but we are now winning by 2 kills as opposed to the, what, 6 or 7 that we were at one point. So the enemy team really has fought back here, and all our top tiers are dead. So all but, well, we've got a Panther 88 that is a not particularly strong tier 8 tank, plus a quartet of tier 7s here, versus a Lerva, a 112 and a T-54 lightweight. So this is not necessarily a trivial situation. Whilst the Lerva and the 112 appear to be distracted with the Panther 88 and the Tiger, I decide that flanking T-29 is best T-29. By the way, probably best to ignore R112 in chat. Calling him friendly seems to be a little bit of an exaggeration. So I decide to be a flanking T-29. T-54 lightweight has been spotted. Really don't want to get shot in the bum from that guy. But I haven't been spotted, so I'm just going to push on here and see if I can help out our Tiger and Panther 88. If the Lerva and or the 112 are in hull down positions, they are going to be very difficult to shift. Our SU-152 is also around, of course, but he is on pretty low health. Speaking of low, hello Mr. Lerva. So we put a shot into him and take the guy's tracks out, holding him in place. But to give credit where credit is due, it looks like the 112... Oh, I was going to say, it looked like the 112 noticed what was going on, maybe not. So rather than alert the 112 to his current predicament, we continue to put shots into the Lerva. 112 takes a hit there from Baldric, and with any luck we should be able to finish this guy off. We take a hit from him, but I figured it was worth it to kill that tier 8 heavy tank. Now we've got a 112 who is either completely oblivious to my presence or distracted by everyone else, so we put a shot into his rear drive wheel, doing damage and holding him in place, although he seems to repair that and takes out our Panther 88, not necessarily in that order. Now we find ourselves in a weird little situation. Ah, that shot missed, unfortunately. Myself, Baldric, and an SU-152 versus this T-54 lightweight and this 112. Going for the tracking shot again. There we go. Another 311 damage and take out the guy's track. Bounce the return shot from him. He's firing AP, not that it really would have made much difference. Try a shot there into the side of his turret, but no dice. SU-152 has also come around the side of that little hill to help out with the 112. Baldric's dropped down from the big hill in the background, but we don't know exactly where this T-54 lightweight is, which is a little problematic. Never mind. So going around the side, or thinking about going around the side of this hilly area, but I'm very conscious that if that T-54 is on the big hill in the background, up where he was last spotted, then he would be able to shoot me and that would suck. Trying to get a decent shot on that T-54, hoping he's going to back off. Ooh, okay. There we go, we take the shot, put one into him, and Baldric's able to finish the guy off. And so now it's just this 112. That doesn't mean this is a foregone conclusion, of course, but just this 112. one shot into him, leaves him on, well, it should be a one shot for myself or Baldric. 112 takes out the SU-152. Looks like he's trying to go hull down behind the SU-152's wreck, but the 112 does have quite large commander's cupolas, and that is the match. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's just take a quick look at the post-game stats for this one. So that ended up being enough for an ace tanker, fire for effect fighter, arsonist, duelist, hand of god, bruiser, and a high caliber medal. We had a premium account at the time, and there was a ×5 experience for the first victory of the day, so that was almost 16,000 XP, which was quite a lot. I think we also had some personal reserves running at the time, which may also have helped. As it turned out, myself and Baldric finished top of our team by experience. Baldric got 1,783 damage, 2 kills, and 1,100 base experience. And I've just highlighted Baldric's stats there on the right-hand side, so you can see how he managed to do. We managed 4,371 damage, 4 kills, 1,746 base experience. Remember, a lot of those shots were into higher tier tanks. Nice big experience multiplier there. That has to be one of my highest base XP scores I've had since playing this game. 19 shots fired, 17 hits, 15 penetrations for that damage count, most of which was from pretty close range. 6 hits received, 3 pen, 3 didn't, 1 splash, 940 damage blocked by our armour, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 destroyed, 881 assistance damage. With a premium account, that ended up being enough for a 63,500 credit profit, and once you throw in ×5 experience for the first win of the day, premium account and a personal reserves bonus, as I said, that ended up being enough for almost 16,000 XP plus 655 free XP. So a pretty nice result there, and I like to think showing the T29 has definitely still got it. Hope you guys enjoyed that pair of games in some American heavy tanks. If you did, by all means feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and as ever, I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao ciao.